Yeah,
No questions?
Did Soto fight in the Kumite fights?
You guys keep asking me that question.
I gotta ask it. I gotta ask it. I hate to
The
bother
answer
you.
is yes. We fought it. Listen, we make it real simple for you guys.
All right.
Okay. He had Chinese promoters. I had Japanese promoters.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, and they could not agree on a lot of things, so we fought in different circuits.
Oh.
And there's different tiers. Now, the Black Dragon Fighting Society is considered the epitome of all the events because it's the longest running. They took it from the Chinese, okay, at the turn of the 20th century, right? So in 1900s, there was, if you look at the movie Fearless, that's a true story.
Yeah.
And the guy who brought pride back to China, he fought the Japanese, he fought the British, he fought anyone and everyone for Chinese pride. It wasn't until my instructor, Tanaka, who fought him and defeated him, that the event was actually changed from Sansao to Kumite. They purposely put in a Japanese name to that, but even before it was Sansao, it was actually belonged to the Mongolians. It was known as Bandajo. Okay, so now you know the real history of this. And before it was Bandajo, it was known as Pancratium. It came from Alexander the Great. He brought it over when he conquered Asia. So the history of this event goes all the way back to the first Olympics, if you really want to get down to it. And in fact, if you look at my first trophy, they were so in your face. See, they gave me a sword, like in the movie. But when they wanted to go public in 1980, they said, okay, let's try to go sanctioning these fights. Let's do something. Maybe we'll make money at this. Some of the promoters broke off, formed their own association called the International Fighting Arts Association. But we're still part of the Black Dragons. And what happened is with this section, we issued a challenge in Black Belt magazine. You know how many people came forward to accept that challenge? 2 people. One was Irving Soto's, and they disqualified him because he was already fighting in Asia. And the other guy was named, I think it was James Carter, and that was the only other guy. And he's got the longest kick in the world. He did a running jump and a side kick over like 20 people or something. And he just, to show what he could do. And he was afraid of nothing, that guy. I got a lot of credit for him. But that was it. You didn't hear from any of the other big stars at the time. Nobody walked up to the plate. All these guys who talk, they didn't step up when the challenge was given, and that's why. And they want to say, oh, it never existed. They want to say it never existed because they were called on their BS. That's the bottom line. Okay? They were called on it. They were told, hey, here's your moment. Didn't happen. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of guys wanted to fight, but they wouldn't let them. They didn't want an Hispanic fighting in this event. They didn't want me fighting in this event. They had to honor me because my instructor, okay, was the champion. And I got into the first tier. Guys like Soto's, because of who he was, his racial background, they kept him out. He couldn't get into the first tier. So you have to understand that. Okay? You have to understand that. Now, do I consider myself champion of the world? You're right. Was the guys who were fighting in my circle less than the guys in the second tier? No. I'd say it was still pretty even all the way around. Okay? So, and that's the reality of that part of the world. And it was for guys like your instructor, Irving Soto, myself, butting heads with prejudice, we couldn't just beat these guys. We had to flatten them. We had to be so decisive. Hapkido, to learn my leg work. And I can go on and on and on. And this is what I would do. I'd travel all over the place. Learning. My first formal training, though, was with Jack Seki in Jiu-Jitsu. And Jack Seki was trained by Jigoro Kono himself. So, it was through my instructor Seki that I met my other instructor, Tanaka. So that's my history, and I had to earn my way in. And by earning my way in, I learned many different systems, many different styles. So I kind of became the archetype of the first mixed martial artist. Your instructor, Soto's, similar past. He was adopted. He didn't have the money. He went from different people, different things, and learned in different ways. That's why we kind of became friends, because we have that commonality. And that's why we were able to do certain things that nobody else could do, and they couldn't understand it. You know, and we found ourselves as friends years later. But let me tell you, it wasn't that way at first, man. There was like a deep-seated respect, but we were still competitors. Okay? We didn't speak for years. Years. It was just, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Right? But it was respect. You know?
He has the ultimate respect.
And I have the ultimate respect
I know
for him.
that. I feel it because you told me.
You know
so
what?
many
Guys
things.
talk the talk, okay? But this man walks the walk. And that's why people talk the talk. You understand? On the internet, on this crowd. And it's interesting. It's the same group of people who talk badly about him, talk badly about me. And I have to say, my belief, I think they're old style Cobra. Millions. And the magazines were there and everything else. But did you hear it in this country?
Wow.
Not once. Because that influence, that
Yeah,
that
when I
walk.
heard him talking about it, I was like, wow.
Yeah. So, and that's it. And that's the reality of the situation. I mean, and we can go on and on. Unfortunately, martial arts, you'd think martial arts would be a humble, you know, very dignified kind of profession and the whole bit. But it's just the opposite, because while you have that, it also attracts to it the pretenders. Yeah, exactly. And it's always going to have, your life always is filled with complementary opposites. And this, and the reality is in the doing. I mean, you see how he throws you around, okay? You saw how he knocked you out, you know, on your butt with an iron palm strike. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's serious.
Let me ask you something.
You know?
For the spectators that you see on YouTube sometimes, and they say, I'm asking you as a fighter yourself, and you can come up here so they can see who I'm talking to. Scott. This is Scott. Everybody knows. Kenji Frank, world champion. Right in front of my friend, one of the best fighters around. You know, like I said, Frank, just putting the whole perspective of the community and how we both did it. You know, and I got my man here, Scotty, Master Scotty. Scott, please, for the camera and the folks out there that see this video sometimes and say, this is a lie. This is not right. This is crap bullshit. In other words, excuse my language, but tell the camera in your words, is this a lie? Like you saw Steven get hit yesterday, and that boy was almost crying.
No, you would have to feel it to understand it. You know, you would have to condition to get ready for that impact, and you really don't even feel it. It's more like a light, and then more recouping is a little harder because my breathing was off. It took till the following day for me to go like this, to really inhale. Yeah.
Well, what it is a compression strike that goes to the heart. You
Yeah.
got to be very careful. That phone book is there, man. You could end up with a crushed sternum.
Yeah, but
And dead. And that's the reality. And they didn't. I want to say something here so people understand this. And I was saying this before.